It's a battle, man. It's a constant battle. I don't understand. He's a really good dude.
That's who's spooky as hell.
Black Lives Matter! 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 Black Lives Matter!
What do we want? Justice! What do we want? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! We don't get it. Down! We don't get it. Shut it down!
We don't get it. Shut it down. We don't get it. Shut it down. We don't get it. Shut it down. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. If we don't get it,
Shut it down!
If we don't get it,
Shut it down! Black Lives Matter! 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 Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot!
Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. Shut it down. Hands up. Don't shoot. Hands up.
Don't shoot!
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 Black lives.
Matter!
Black lives.
Move down this way so everybody can come in. So we can move down this way into the two side streets and line up.
I know. We all have one big
Thank you. Thank you. This is so beautiful. This is so much more than we were expecting, so thank you. Before we get started, I will ask, we're going to have a number of speakers. I'm asking that you turn your phones off or to vibrate so that we have our full respect for our upcoming speakers. But before we get started, I know you've heard it again, but thank you. Thank you for taking a stand for solidarity, racial justice, and to elevate Black voices right here in our community. We all know that Kutztown is an incredible place to learn, to work, to live, and for some, to thrive. But by being here today, we all agree that we have work to do. To ensure we're listening and learning from all of our citizens, more specifically, those of color whose voices have been ignored and silenced for too long. Black lives matter. Black voices matter. Today isn't just about your signs, nor is it about the opportunity for a quick photo op to throw on Instagram. Today is the day we begin to bring meaningful change to our community. Today is a day to educate, to learn, and for some, just to listen and process. Today should feel uncomfortable. Today should not be easy, but neither is the work that we're trying to accomplish in Kutztown. Everyone is at a different place on this journey, and that's okay. Be honest with yourself today and be willing to learn. We're going to be hearing from a number of people this afternoon, all of which are voices from your backyard right here in the Berks County area. I'm asking you again to listen, process, take the time to truly understand what you're about to hear. Again, please check your cell phones and ensure that they are off or on vibrate. But first, I'd like to introduce Pastor Earl Wise from the Real Church, who will begin our speakers with an opening prayer and remarks.
When I say, how you doing, everyone? When I say, can you hear me, I want you to say as loud as you can, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
When I say, can you see me, I want you to say as loud as you can, I can see you. Can you see me?
I can see you.
Okay, so now we practice, so now let's go. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you see me?
I can see you.
Black lives?
Matter.
Black lives?
Matter.
See, that's what Black Lives Matter is about. It's about recognizing that you see us and that you hear us, and the injustices that are happening right now are just not acceptable. And so we come together as Black people, as white people, as light skin, as dark skin, as men, as women, and we come together to say that I see you and I hear you, and this injustices will not happen anymore. And we can do this, and we can do this together. We can do this peacefully. I'm so proud of all of you coming out today. You're doing this peacefully, and that is what you need to give yourself a round of applause for that. But let me suggest to you that this is not just a racial issue. This is a character and a heart issue. And this is a love issue. Let's not be mistaken what this is about. Color is involved, but it is not the main thing. It is not black versus white. It is not man versus police. It is not black lives versus police. It is a community, it's a heart and love issue. So today, let's march peacefully. Let's march together. But here's the thing, the work starts after you leave here. Don't smile at me and hold up signs today and then spew hatred on Instagram and spew hatred on social media tomorrow. This is about us coming together as one people, with one heart, with one voice. Like I said, can you see me?
I can see you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Black lives
Matter.
Black lives
Matter.
Love today, love tomorrow, and continue to love. And years from now, we'll look back and we'll see true change in this country and in this world. But it starts with all of us doing it together with love. No matter what your religious backgrounds are, I'm just going to ask you to close your eyes and bow your heads. I'm going to pray for just a few moments, and I'm going to hand off to the mayor. Let's pray. Dear God, we thank you for not just November, but January, February, April, May, June, July. We thank you for all the months. And God, I'm asking right now that we just thank you for allowing us to gather here today as one people. We are all your children, whether we're men, whether we're women, whether we're black, whether we're white, whether we're Latino, whether we're Asian. God, we are all precious in your sight. And I thank you for the opportunity to stand here and speak love over these people. I ask right now, God, that you be with us and that you allow change to take place in the hearts of not just our government, not just our police, not just our churches, but our people from the inside out. Change us. In your most precious name we pray. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your time. Black lives? Black lives? Let's make sure it matters tomorrow too.
Up next, we will be hearing a few words from the mayor of Kutztown, Jim Schlegel.
I'm Army, I'm tough. I want to thank all of you for joining us today for this peaceful show of solidarity. Kutztown is a community that knows how to work together to make change. 6 years ago, we gathered together to battle the opioid epidemic that had taken the lives of youth in our area. And as Kutztown Strong, we made a difference. Since the start of the pandemic, our community and churches have worked together to support our local businesses, get food and supplies to those in need, check on our neighbors, make face masks for the frontline workers, and continue to educate our children and celebrate their graduation in ways we never could have envisioned. But this is different. I've raised 2 sons, and I can't imagine having to teach your child that you have a good chance of being arrested because of the color of your skin. I don't know what it's like to be denied jobs because of the color of your skin, or to be denied loans because of the color of your skin. I'm a child of the 60s. I went to Vietnam and I witnessed the protests against the wars. I listened to Martin Luther King, I Have a Dream speech, and saw a man laying on the moon. But when I witnessed the death of George Floyd, I knew that was a breaking point. Wake-up call for our nation. We all had to do something to change the racial inequality. I've reached out to Dr. Hawkinson to start conversations between the town and the university on how we can bridge this racial divide and have new initiatives in place well before the students return. I've asked our congregations to start meaningful dialogue on how do we change this systematic violence and distrust of people of color. I'm proud to say our police department is one step ahead of many. They wear body cameras and have dash cameras, which are turned on when on duty. In their mission statement, which each individual officer signs when he starts, it states, "We treat each other and the community we serve as we would like to be treated, with compassion and dignity in our capacity within Kutztown. We have respect for and promote the diversity of the community." We act with fairness, restraint, and impartiality in carrying out our duties. We work with the community to continually understand and overcome cultural influences and biases. We understand that our actions, combined with the way we treat members of the community, contributes to our legitimacy in the eyes of the public. Our officers took the oath to serve and are equally outraged by the tragedies. On July 2nd, 1964, the Civil Rights Act was signed into law, officially banning discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. It also ended racial segregation in schools, at the workplace, and in public facilities. You would think after 56 years, we would have our act together, but we still don't. So let's work together and create a better world for our children. We can be and will be stronger together. Black Lives Matter.
Up next, we're going to switch gears a little bit. We have Christian Curette, who will be performing a spoken word poem for us. He is a father from Fleetwood. He's an English teacher at Lebanon High School, and the world's greatest dad, I'd like to mention as well. So please help me welcome Christian Curette.
How we doing, ladies and gentlemen? It is wonderful to see all of you up here. This is a fantastic showing. Right, here we go. Is that better? All right. It is wonderful to see you all here. It does my heart good as an educator, as a brown person, to see this solidarity. I'm not a black man. My father is Afro-Latino. He's from Puerto Rico. My mother is a proud white American, and I am the product of that. And I thought the best thing that I could do as a person who loves the word, is to become a teacher, to not only spread that love of the word, but also to show my students what it's like to be a proud, beautiful brown person in this country, to show that there is more to us than just the color of our skin. I'm not going to say it wasn't a struggle. I'm not going to say it's still not a struggle. It is, and it's one we see every day. But we try, and this is a grateful way for us to start. Not to start, to continue, to keep going. And we need to push this until we reach the point where we all can be free together. I gave my students an assignment 2 weeks ago to write a slam poem, right? And then all this started, all this, George Floyd, and before that, Breonna Taylor, and before that, hundreds more. This is just the eventuality of what everything has happened. So when the protesting started, I wrote this poem in response to that. I wear this mask to protect them, to make them feel safe, protected from the fear they decided not to face, but it's not the virus they hate. That's not the sickness they flee. What I'm protecting them from is their fear of me. I can't breathe. My black and Hispanic brothers and sisters, we don't protest the mask because we've been wearing them since they brought us here in class, brought us here on boats, our chains forged by their ignorance and hate. Getting whipped, beaten, killed, our only hope escape. So to save our lives, we wore masks of deference and obedience because we blindly thought that our allegiance would make a difference. That if we looked as if we feared them, they would let us be, but we can't. But those masks couldn't hide our pain when it was hung from every tree. I can't breathe. We still wear masks today. Some wear masks of anger, some of hate, from still being beaten, imprisoned by the millions at a much higher rate than our white neighbors, especially those who cry, all lives matter. While kneeling on our backs, on our necks, while they climb their own ladder to seem like we are above the fray. But we are drowned in a sea of black and brown faces on the screen, one after another, jailed, killed, yet they remain unseen by those who hate them the most. Just a blur, their best description of us, almost always a slur. And I know most of you want to do everything to help us through these struggles together until we are all black and blue. And know that I love you, but I still can't breathe. Through my mask of fear, my soul is weighed down by thoughts like, will I be unmade? Walking in a park, jogging, buying candy. No crime is too small for my life to be snuffed out like a black candle, summoning back the echoes of our past. The whip's crack echo through my bones. I wear my mask of civility, of fear, of patience. Also, I can ask for my own life. Please, sir, I can't breathe. I just want to breathe and be free. When I say their name, you say their name. Sandra Bland. Sandra Bland. Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin. Sean Reed. Sean Reed. Tamir Rice. Tamir Rice. Oscar Grant. Oscar Grant. Michael Brown. Michael Brown. Stephon Clark. Stephon Clark. Dante Parker. Dante Parker. Walter Scott. Walter Scott. Anthony Bays. Anthony Bays. Ahmaud Arbery. Ahmaud Arbery. Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor. Philando Castile. Philando Castile. Samuel DuBose. Samuel DuBose. Freddie Gray. Freddie Gray. Eric Garner. Eric Garner. Atatiana Jefferson. Botham Jean. George Floyd. They deserve to be heard. Thank you.
And next, we're going to hear from a student. Please help me welcome Marlon Creech, a junior from Kutztown Area High School.
Go ahead, Marlon.
Hello, everyone. Well, like she said, I'm a student at Kutztown Area High School, and I came here about 8 years ago. I moved from Newark, New Jersey, and it was really different. It was really different. And Kutztown is predominantly white. I was the only black guy in the school. When I first came, I didn't have a lot of friends. People were like looking at me because I was new. I was black. My skin, they didn't really like want to be friends with me. But after a while, I think that changed because everyone started to come to me, be friends with me, come talk to me at the lunch table, walking the halls and everything. But I'm here to just say that I think everyone is equal. Everyone, no matter your skin color, you're black, white, Puerto Rican, Hispanic, Dominican, no matter what, we're all equal. And I feel like black people have been minorities for years. Racism, over 300 years of racism we had to deal with. And it has to change. And I feel like George Floyd is like a big wake-up call for the entire world. Like, it's time to change. And we're all equal, and it's just time to change. That's all I have.
Next up, we'll be hearing from Jerry Jones from City Cuts.
What's going on, Kutztown? Man, it's a lot of people. First of all, give it up to Marlon, man. For him to come up on this stage in front of y'all. I've been cutting Marlon's hair for about 5 years or so. And so this is what Books by Kids is about, public speaking, right? Building up that confidence. Sorry, y'all can't hear me. All right. I didn't write anything for this. All right, I wanted to come straight from the heart. City Cuts came to Kutztown about 2000 and 2006. All right, so we came, a little louder. 2006 we came out here. And we seen an opportunity and we seen a lot of happy people. So we trying to keep that going. Dang, I'm stuck. Yo, that's too many faces. I can talk all that trash in the shop, but in front of y'all, it's a little crazy. I'm glad everybody's out here, though, to come together. This is beautiful. It's a beautiful day. People coming together. I see so many faces, color, sizes, kids. Like, this is beautiful. This is why I love Kutztown. I moved to Kutztown about 2 years ago, and I don't plan on going anywhere. City Cuts, we here to stay. I even got Kutztown tattooed on my arm, just to let y'all know I love y'all. Walking up and down Main Street, the love is real everywhere. I can't even focus because see one person say hello, see another person say hello. Like, it doesn't stop. So we just want to keep that love going. At City Cuts, that's what we push for. Peace and love. Trying to change lives, one haircut at a time. Hi, say. One haircut at a time. We're going to make it happen. My big brother said, treat others the way you want to be treated. And that's the bottom line. All right? Black Lives Matter.
We are going to be hearing from another student, Carlos Lewis, who is a junior at Kutztown University.
Oh man, I'm so excited. My name is Carlos Lewis, and I just graduated from Kutztown University with a marketing degree. Thank you. My girlfriend told me yesterday. She was like, you should write stuff down, like know what to say. But I told her no, man. I'm gonna speak from the heart, and I just wanted to share my story about how I experienced institutional racism. And I graduated from John Bartram High School, a school in Southwest Philadelphia. And I used to go through the school, and every time I walked through the school, I had to go through a metal detector. And I saw a lot of kids, selling drugs. I seen a lot of kids having experiences at a young age. And I would never forget this one moment. My African American teacher, he was a Caucasian male. And I was one of the good students. Like I love learning, I love information, and I love information about my people. But it was just one day, we were having a conversation, and he looked at me, and he said, "Do you know it's only 3 or 4 people in the school that's going to make it in the real world?" And I looked at him, and I'm a senior in high school, and back then I wasn't really outspoken. I really didn't speak up. But the fact that he even told me that lets me know that I was impressed. But here I am now. Black people used to get lynched for even reading and learning how to write. But now, what they do is, they just miseducate us. They don't fund us. They don't give us textbooks. They don't give us textbooks. And my entire high school at John Bartram, I only wrote 2 essays. I never saw a textbook. Never. But instead of, like I said, educating us, they want to miseducate us. They don't want us to learn. But as black, brown, white, we have to take our hands and really, really unify. Like, it's time. Like, we're tired. Like, come on, information is powerful. Like, just understand, black people were lynched for learning how to read. Like, if that don't say anything, knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. So listen, let's educate ourselves about institutional racism. Let's take our hand and educate our youth and get equality for everybody. And thank you. So I just want, if you can, I want everybody to take a knee. Everybody take a knee. And put your fists up. This is for Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Tamir Rice, Harriet Tubman, Eric Gardner, Michael Brown. We fighting. Let me hear you say it. We fighting. Nah, I don't hear it. We fighting. We fighting. Thank you.
Up next, we have Baron Vanderberg, one of the assistant directors of admission at Kutztown University.
We have also come to this hallowed spot to remind America of the fierce urgency of now. This is no time to engage in the luxury of cooling off or to take the tranquilizing drug of gradualism. The words of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, delivered at the March on Washington in his I Have a Dream speech. My name is Baron Vanderberg, and I am very, very honored to be here with you. I am grateful to the organizers of this event for inviting me to give some remarks. I'm so grateful, and to think about the opportunity to come here and give the remarks, I recall the conversation that I had with the organizers. They said, please come and to give some remarks and spend maybe 3 to 4 minutes to give a couple of remarks, and then we'll keep the program moving, right? So what I had to stop and think about was, what will I say to address the crowd in 3 minutes? If I had a little bit more than 3 minutes, I might tell you about the time that I was accosted by the police officers because I fit the description of a 5'6" white male. Do you see me? If I had about 3 more minutes, I might go ahead and tell you about the time that I was pulled over in a small rural town twice within 5 minutes by the same police officer who said, sorry, I forgot, I just pulled you over 5 minutes ago. Okay, if I had maybe 3.5 more minutes, I might tell you about the time that I was a junior in high school and I was in an advanced placement class, and the teacher came around and asked who belonged in the classroom that day. And when we all affirmed that we were supposed to be there, the teacher asked to check schedules to verify that we were supposed to be there and only checked mine. I might tell you about that day if I had about 3.5 more minutes. Or maybe if I had 3 more minutes, what are we up to, 12? If I had 3 more minutes, I might tell you about the time that my siblings and I went shopping with my dad to be tailored for new suits, Easter Sunday, very traditional time. The tailor in the department store sees a man come in with 5 children and makes a comment to my father that welfare must be taking care of you and your children. If I had 3 more minutes, I'd probably tell you a little bit about all of those things. Beloved, we are here for a problem bigger than interactions with the police. We are here for a problem bigger than inequality in education. Not only are we here for those things, but we are here to change 400 plus years of craziness that has plagued our society. We are here to dismantle the things that have been placed before us and to decide that's not how we're going to do these things anymore. We are here to make a real, valid decision to appreciate Black lives here in our society in a way that they have never been appreciated and valued before. We are here to demand justice to be equivalent for everybody, for every situation, in every world, in every town, in every city. Black lives matter. I wonder what would happen if everybody in this crowd, everybody, I wonder if everybody who was under the sound of my voice had about 3 minutes to make a change. God bless you, and thank you.
Up next, we'll have a word from Dr. Donovan McCargo, the Dean of Students at Kutztown University.
I'm overwhelmed. Anybody overwhelmed? Unlike my other speakers, I had to write it down because I wanted you all to get home at a decent hour. I got a lot on my mind these days, a lot on my heart. A lot of conversations happening in my house. A lot of conversations happening over the phone with my family members and my friends, my white counterparts, my Black counterparts, my Latino and Latina counterparts, my Asian counterparts. There's a lot of conversations happening right now. It's a lot of conversations. I'm thankful to God for this opportunity to speak today. Before I begin my remarks, I would be remiss if we didn't stop to take a moment of silence to recognize the life of Mr. George Floyd. I ask that you remove your hats and join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. Thank you. My name is Donovan McCargo. I am the Assistant Vice President and Dean of Students at Kutztown University. I want to begin by thanking the organizers of this event, Ms. Joni Klopp, Mr. Jerry Scheer, Peace Love Kutztown, the Borough of Kutztown, and so many others who worked behind the scenes to make this event a reality. Let's give them a bigger round of applause. You can do better than that. I see you in the back. Let me hear you in the back. To our business owners, let me hear you too. To the president of Kutztown University, Dr. Kenneth Hawkinson, thank you for your leadership during this critical time at KU. Our country and the world, your leadership through this pandemic and so many other unique and challenging circumstances has allowed me to learn from you. I support you, your leadership, and remain dedicated to making KU an even better place to work, live, learn, and grow. To my colleagues at KU, you have welcomed me and my family with open arms. Of the many places I've worked, working at KU truly feels like a family, and I'm thankful for all of you, how you support me and how you challenge me to be better. On May 25th, 2020, I felt as if the earth had shaken. So many of us woke up to a day penned as Memorial Day, a day for which we recognize and honor those men and women who died while serving in the military. To our veterans and all of those active and reserve military personnel and your families, thank you for your service. Let's give it up for them too. On May 25th, we didn't imagine by evening's end that one life, Mr. George Floyd, would transcend into a national and global movement that would further magnify the challenges in one of the most powerful countries in the world. Because of Mr. Floyd, we should never be the same again. We should never sit back and see racial injustice as normal. We should never follow or allow our friends and coworkers to make insensitive and offensive jokes again. We should never raise our children without telling the truth about Black history again. We should never assume a Black man or woman is less than another man or woman again. We should never again hate someone we don't know, but despise them because of the color of their skin again. On May 25th, the earth shook. From that day, tears have been flowing from eyes of many, tears of sorrow, pain, regret, and disappointment and shame. From that day, hundreds of protests and marches have occurred, engaging millions of supporters of all walks of life. Through social media and TV, our country has been exposed to a harsh reality that the lack of equality still remains a barrier for upward mobility of so many Blacks and other marginalized groups in America, the land of the free. Today, each of you took the first step. You showed up. You showed up. By showing up, you send a message that what was can no longer be anymore. You're telling the world you want change, that Black lives matter, and that we must do better. You being here will go down in history. So yes, take a picture, write this day down, and journal this experience. Tell someone who couldn't make it here that you were here, and you're now part of a history, and remind them that Black lives matter. But I need more from you. I need more from you. Black people need more from you. The steps you take after the day can transform this nation. Certainly, reviewing legislation, laws, and policies are critical. Reform is incredibly important for leveling the playing ground. But change starts from within. Change starts from within. Hearts must be changed. Minds must be changed. Our actions must be changed. Our actions must be changed. We must continue. We must continue. We must continue to hold each other accountable. This requests boldness and courage to hold your man and your brother and your sister accountable. Accountability is not just about calling somebody out, but it's also about pulling someone aside and bringing correction. Accountability is not about calling somebody out. It's about pulling somebody aside and offering correction. We must commit to thinking more about our intentions, the intentions that drive our actions. What's the why behind our actions today, people? The why behind our decisions, people, and who is affected by those actions. And we must commit to learning. We often live in a world of assumptions. Our information is skewed, and many of the facts that we rely on about blacks and other groups are often taken from a small subgroup of personal experiences and encounters. We should no longer subscribe wholly to the notion framed by an old expression, one bad apple ruins a bunch. People are not apples. We need to treat people like humans, like a food we taste for the first time, we taste it, and we don't like it, and we discard it. Never ever giving it a chance to be tried again, to be prepared in a different way. What if that food you hate was the food that you're missing for wholesomeness and for health? What if your life depended on it? Would you eat it? Would you take more time to learn about that food, its origin, its health benefits? Up until last night, I wasn't a fan of avocados. I had it once before, but it was mushy, and it was bland, and the texture turned me off. I vowed to never eat avocados again. But last night, my mother cut up an avocado, and she put a little salt and pepper on it, and she said, "Baby, try it again." And I did, and I loved it. And I added it with my food, and it became a part of my meal. I'm gonna tell you today, folks, what you didn't like before, try it again. What you hated before, try it again. What you dismissed before, try it again. What you turned your back on before, try it again. What you kicked to the side, try it again. What you hurt before, try it again. Who you talked about before, try it again. For the person you shut down, you closed the door on, open the door again. Today is our day. The earth shook on May 25th, 2020. The earth shook on May 25th, 2020. We cannot go back to where we were. We cannot go back to April. We can't go back to 1964. We gotta go forward. And we gotta go forward with justice. And we gotta go forward with peace. And we gotta go forward with hope. And we gotta go forward with joy. And we gotta go forward with love. And love is action. Love is just not a word. Love is just not a word. Love is not temporary. Love is not sometime. Love is not when you feel good. Love is not when it looks good. Love is when you're hurting sometimes. Love is still there when you're frustrated. Love is there when you're in pain. Love is there. But we need love. We need love. So if you walk away today and you say this was just another day, and if you feel I did my part by showing up, woe be unto you, because there's more than just showing up. There's more than just saying I'm going to do something. It's more than just saying I participated in the march in Philly and Reading and Allentown and Kutztown. It requires a set of actions that is tied to love. So if you have love in your heart, I'm gonna beg you right now. I know we're struggling with a pandemic. We're struggling with social distancing, and I understand we need to do that. But before the end of the day, I'm encouraging every single person under the sound of my voice to show your love. And from every day forward, we show our love to white man, to black man, to Asian man, to the gay man, to the gay woman, to the transgender man, to the transgender woman. We show our love to the policeman. Hear me now. To the policeman. We show our love. To the judge. We're gonna show our love. To the attorney general. We're gonna show our love. And guess what? And love, we must continue to fight. Thank you.
We've heard a lot today, huh? Lots to think about, lots to process. And before we depart this area, I'd like to conclude our time by truly honoring George Floyd in an 8-minute and 46 seconds, a moment of silence. Use this time for whatever you need it for. If you'd like to pray, if you'd like to be on the ground, if you'd like to lay down or take a knee, please feel free. The reason that we're doing this, most of you, if not all of you, have seen the video. We're doing this for the number of times he cried out, "I can't breathe." We're doing this as he called out for his mama. We're doing this to honor the life of Mr. Floyd. Thank you. That was powerful. That was powerful for a town like Kutztown. Thank you. As we make our way back up Main Street, there's a lot of things to think about today. I hope you just took this time to think how you're going to be actively anti-racist. It's no longer enough to be a non-racist. We need to be actively anti-racist in our community. Change is not created overnight. And we need everyone's participation. Write to your legislators. Get to the polls. Who was at the polls last week? Register to vote and make your voice heard. We're starting a movement, Kutztown. This is not a one-day event. We are just getting started. As we slowly make our way up Main Street, I encourage you to view the signs that are hanging on the Kutztown Community Partnership windows. Over the last few days, we've been collecting quotes from our community. Why are you coming out Sunday? Read those. See what your community thinks and feels, and take that home with you this afternoon. Lastly, I think if you talked to me, you heard this was not in my plans this week. But racial and social justice doesn't come at a good time, right? Never a convenient time, so here I am. I want to thank a number of people. We couldn't have done this without the help of KCP, Peace Love Kutztown, Jerry, Beth, Kat, Maggie, Jana, Zoe. Round of applause for them, guys. Kutztown Police Department, Kutztown University Public Safety, Kutztown University Administration, including President Hawkinson, Donovan McCargo, Dr. Warren Hilton, and more. All of our incredible speakers, thank you for sharing your stories. We know it's not easy. To all of our Facebook warriors from in town, I see you. Thank you. And for all of you, it is powerful for a community like Kutztown to have a number of people in a place like this all fighting for the same thing. Thank you. And Black Lives Matter. We're going to slowly start to make our way back up Main Street. I encourage you, if you still have chalk, feel free to write, maybe process a little bit of what you heard today. We'll be walking with you. Please thank everyone along the way. Thank you to our businesses as well. I know we have a number of businesses who are here supporting the march, so thank you. We also do have voter registration available over at KCP. Feel free if you need to update your address, change your party affiliation. Sorry, but I appreciate it.